Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is you are watching this. My name is Matt Krikorian. I'll be giving you the preview show of my picks for Golden State Racing Day 2 on Sunday, October 20th. We're going to start at the first race, 6 furlongs, maiden claiming of $20,000 for maidens 3-year-olds and upward. This race has only got really one horse that's ever run more than twice or 3 times or something. But we'll get back to him later. My top pick, number 1, Bangin' Boom. Raced at Emerald Downs on September 14th at a 6 furlong race in a $15,000 maiden claiming and came in second by a head. Now tries to move up into a $20,000 class, which, I mean, it could do well for this horse. He put up 109, which is blazing. I think 20,000 might be actually too low for this horse, and potentially maybe even higher for Northern California. For Southern California, yeah, 20,000 is a good place to stay. My second pick is the number 2, Bobbed and Lured. Last time out on October 6th at Fresno for 5 furlongs in a $25,000 maiden. Came in 5th by 2.5 lengths. At Ferndale, 5 furlongs in a maiden claiming 32,000. Second by 2.5 lengths. The time was 1:02 for that 5 furlong race, so he's a little slow, but compared to the rest of these horses in the field, I'd say he can do a pretty good job of it. If we go back to Santa Rosa on August 4th, 5.5 furlongs in a $20,000 maiden, he put up 1:04 winning time, and he came in second by a length and a quarter, or a length and 3/4. My apologies. But yeah, definitely watch out for those two. In my opinion, there isn't really anyone else to look out for in this race, so the 1 and the 2 will definitely be some good fighting involved throughout the entire majority of the race. Moving on now into the second race, 5.5 furlongs, $10,000 claimants. Hey Batman, the number 1, will be my top selection. He raced at Fresno last time on October 11th in a $32,000 claiming race and came in 4th by 18 lengths. Winning time was 1:09, which was the same winning time as the previous horse that I just talked about, Bangin' a Boom, over at Emerald Downs. But Fresno turns are tighter, so 1:09 is pretty good. Now, if you see Churchill Downs 1:09, then you got a Kentucky Derby bound horse. For those of you that know that the Kentucky Downs or Churchill Downs track is very slow with the dirt, so yeah. Moving on to my second pick, Evener. I think it's Evener, even worse. I'm not sure about the pronunciation. I'll have to get it when I go to the track tomorrow. But I think it's Evener, even worse. Raced at Fresno last time on the 22nd of September. 6 furlongs in 1:09. Came in 6th by 23 lengths. Now it's dropping down to a $10,000 race. I'd also like to throw out the number 3 into the race, Sir Grayson, in a $25,000 race at Fresno on the 29th of September for 5.5 furlongs in 1:02, which is very quick. So give me 1, 3, and 2 for this race. That'll be my trifecta ticket. Move on into the third race. 6 furlongs, maiden claiming $25,000, purse of $16,500. My top pick will be Penny Patter. At Fresno, went out at 5.5 furlongs for a maiden $25,000, not a maiden claiming. Came in 4th by 5.25 lengths. We look at the maiden claiming race that this horse ran at Santa Rosa for $25,000. Won by a neck, but was disqualified and placed second. Whatever the problem was, probably cheated. That's usually what happens when you get disqualified, is you tend to probably have cheated. But that's just a guess for me. I have no idea. My second pick will be Smiling Rapper. On the 21st of Fresno, went out at 5 furlongs and 58. Came in fourth by 4 lengths. Did lose to Win Some Love. By, what, about half a length or so? So, half a length is maybe 4 feet. That's not really much. That's not a deciding variable when you're out there on the track. Because, half a length, we get down to a nose. That'll be a photo finish. And, yeah, it's pretty exciting in my opinion. But so for me, it'll be the 2, 3, and if you want to throw in the 6 onto your exacta ticket, you're more than welcome to do that. Fourth race, 6 furlongs, maiden claiming of $25,000. Give me the Prince of Del Mar, number 5. Mainly because this horse ran at Del Mar on the turf at 5 furlongs in a $75,000 race. Granted, now Pleasanton doesn't have turf, and they probably never will have turf either. So they'll be just like, excuse me. This time I did get the cough button. So, cough button's just the mute button. Anyways, excuse me again. Anyways, Prince of Del Mar went out at Fresno last time at 5 furlongs in a maiden $25,000 race. I came in fourth, 5 3/4 lengths off. Now this is a maiden claiming race, which is a little more different. No. I don't know why I'm sneezing so much. But this horse went out at $25,000 and a maiden for $25,000. My apologies for repeating at the same time. 5 furlongs and 58 seconds, the winning time. He came in fourth by 5 3/4 lengths. He's got a Sale Espinosa on him again, as well. He's never actually had a Sale Espinosa, so it'll definitely be something a little more different for him, as he's had different jockeys every time. He had Ricky Gonzalez down at Del Mar, Riviera on the Northern California circuit. So it's normal for a jockey to be taken off a horse and another one to be put on. Especially stakes horses that go run across the world or something. They usually travel with the jockey, but like sometimes they'll have a different jockey. Like in fact, when you're looking at the Pegasus World Cup, you'll see the horse will have a different jockey almost every time or something. Not always, but there will be at least 1 or 2 horses that have never had the same jockey twice. Anyways, the second pick for me will be the number 1, True Mantra. Raced once in the entire career of this 2-year-old, the gelding. At Fresno on the 22nd of September in a maiden claiming $25,000 for 5 furlongs, 57 seconds. This horse finished third by 2.5 lengths, but with the late comment it said that this horse had a late gain, so maybe the extra furlong could be the deciding factor of the win. So it's definitely something to look out for in the 4th. So 5 and 1 for me. Moving on to the 5th race, 1 mile and 70 yards, claiming a price of $5,000, non-winners of 2 life. My top pick will be the number 6, Uncle Walt. Went out a mile last time at Fresno. In a $50,000 allowance, it came in fourth by 10 lengths. We'll go to the last dirt race that this horse had on July 7th before Fresno. That was also a $50,000 allowance, came in 6th by 18 lengths. So this horse probably wants to get dumped, in my opinion. He's put up decent speed figures around the 70s range. In my opinion, the turf does do a little bit better for him, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how the race pans out with this 70 yards. He's never gone out at this distance before, but he's gone out at a mile and a 16th at a mile. But the 70 yards is, well, it's the same distance. It's just that they start clocking at a different spot. So they're going to start at the 16th pole. But this horse has been running in $50,000 races. Never ran in a $5,000 race. In fact, the lowest that this horse ever ran in was two $12,500 races at Santa Rosa. And those were both turf races. So the trainer, Victor Trujillo, definitely was experimenting with the turf. Something that I don't really understand about Golden Gate Fields horses. I remember last year I was like watching Golden Gate quite frequently, and I'd look at the past performances and stuff, and I'd see like a horse never ran on the turf before, but now is going on to the turf once they get it back in, because they like take out the turf in the winter time. I have no idea why. Maybe because it's just cold or something, and something like that. Yeah. I could do research and find out about it. But it's always like you'll see turf, dirt, turf, dirt, turf, dirt, all the way like until this meet ends at Golden Gate. Which I'm a little lost there myself with the turf, dirt, turf, dirt, turf, dirt training strategy and running strategy. My second pick will be the number 1, Dangerous Game. I ran in a $5,000 race down at Fresno on the 5th of October. Put up 139 and lost by half a length in second. Did lose to Uncle Walt 2 starts ago on the turf. 2 starts ago on the turf. But as you could tell, it didn't really do much. So this horse is a dirt runner. So this mile and 70 yards hopefully will pan out the way that the trainers and owners do want him to go. So for me, it'll be the 6 over the 1 in the 5th race. Moving on to the 6th race, 5.5 furlongs, claiming race of $4,000. 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won a race since September 1st, or which have never won 4 races. Almanera, the number 1, will be my top pick. Ran on the 29th of September at Fresno in a $4,000 non-winners of 2 year. Came in 3rd by 2.5 lengths. But it says that this horse was gaining late, although it looks like, from judging from where this horse was throughout the polls and stuff, that he was fading, actually. So he started was first at the half-mile marker, 3/4. He started to fade into second, then he finished in 3rd. So either he was pushed too quickly, which it does look like he was. 22, 46, 56, and 102. That's still, that time is actually pretty fast for Fresno. 102 for 5.5 furlongs. That blazing along there. This horse does like to run on the dirt. I think that the $4,000 price tag will be something that this horse could probably run away from. He does like the 5.5 furlong distance. He also likes 6 furlongs. He won last time at Santa Rosa in a 62.50, non-winners of 1 year, and that's the one that he won. He did win one. Did he win one earlier? No, he didn't win one earlier. So, yeah, he didn't get DQ'd anywhere. So, yeah. Anyways, so Almanera will be my top pick there. My second pick will be. Actually, I had a tough pick in this race, deciding which one to have my second pick. So I just went with both El Condor, the number 7, and Little Liliana, number 8. El Condor ran at Fresno last time on the 28th of September in an $8,000 race and came up 5th by 6 3/4 lengths. Earlier ran 5.5 furlongs at $5,000. And won by 3/4 of a length, beating Almanera on that occasion. This was at Sacramento also. That was in the July type. He actually won 2 races in 2 weeks. Or, no, in 1 week. He won 2 races. So he won, and then the next week he was entered once again to run again. So, very interesting thing that Jesus Romanos is doing by entering the horse a week after he won. That's an interesting tactic in my opinion. You don't really see it that often, and in fact, you probably rarely will ever see it. My second pick will be Little Liliana. Ran in a $4,000 claiming race at Fresno, but that's a throwout race, as this horse ran fourth by 4.5 lengths. 5,000 non-winners of 2 at Santa Rosa. Came in second by half a length. Now, one thing that I do want the past performances to add, and I'd love if they added this, is the temperature, because horses will run differently depending on how hot it is or how cold it is. That's what that's what I would think, because at Pleasanton they were putting up very slow times. They were putting up like 5.5 furlongs in 108 or something, and it just seemed impossible that they were going that slow. So I'd feel like that the heat made them run a little slower than they would normally run. If we look at this race on the 21st of June, which was, I believe that was opening weekend at Pleasanton. No, that wasn't opening weekend. That was the second weekend of racing. Or it might have been the third, actually. No, the second. This horse ran a 62.50 claiming race and came in third by 6 lengths. Maybe the dirt at Pleasanton didn't really work that day for him, or for her. But she's been putting up consistent speed figures of the high 60s and low 70s. So she's been staying around average. So my top selections in this one will be the 1, 7, and or 8. 7th race, late double. 6 furlongs, allowance of $28,000, non-winners of 1. My top pick will be somewhere in this paper, the number 9, Kristen Lee. Earlier this year, at Pleasanton, I remember this race clearly. There was practically an opportunity for any horse in that race to run away and win. There was like 5 horses that were all running, and they all could have won. They were all front runners too, I believe. I'm not sure. There might have been one stalker. But Kristen Lee has been running in $50,000 optional claiming races and has hit the board consistently, minus that one race at Sacramento where she ran 6th by 8 3/4 lengths. But that was also because Frank Alvarado was on him, so maybe he doesn't know what Kristen Lee can do. Luis Jimenez, excuse me, my apologies. Luis Jimenez is once again back aboard. Luis has hit the board every time he's been on this horse. He's had 4 mounts on this horse, 3 of which were winning mounts, and 1 was a second mount, which was the Pleasanton mount also. I'd also like to throw in R&B's Tiger. I saw this horse win at Del Mar, actually, live. I remember this race actually pretty clearly. On the 9th of August at Del Mar, in the first race I ever watched, the favorite was winning by like 3 lengths or something. I go back and look at the rest of the field, and next thing I know, this horse is under the rail. Like, fell over and is under the rail. I don't remember what the horse's name was, but I remember this horse was running out in front, had the race put away, and I look back at the rest of the field, like, to go talk about the rest of it, and then I go back to the front and I try and find the favorite, and I just find her under the rail. So not something that was exactly exciting, but R&B's Tiger is being shipped up from LA now to run up here in Northern California. Probably will destroy the field, but Luzma will be my second pick, the number 7. 5th of October at Fresno, 6 furlongs and a 62,500. Now is dropping down to almost half, or actually more than half of what that was. So, into an allowance race. I don't know how this horse is even in this race, because earlier this year, on the 6th of July, this horse won the maiden for 25,000. Then went into an allowance race at Santa Rosa and won there. This is a non-winners of 1. I don't know what the X is for, though. Wait, let me find out. Which I've never won once other. Never won 15,000 once other than maiden, claiming, starter, or state bred, which I've never won 2 races. Okay. That makes sense then. So Luzma ran at Fresno in a 62,500. Came in 5th by 3 lengths. Earlier won in a $50,000 at Fresno on the 15th of September. In a 50,000, came in 2nd by 6 lengths. So this horse has been staying around the optional claiming races. And has been doing well. He's hit the board consistently in the last couple of starts, minus the one last start at Fresno. But if we look back at the last, realistically, all the starts that are listed here in the past performances, you can see the last 10 starts, I think, yeah. The last 10 starts, this was hit the board consistently in all of them except for 3 of them. Two of which were at Golden Gate. And the last one is at Fresno, when this horse seemed to be outclassed. So, for me, it'll be the 9, 8, and potentially the 7 also. Well, no, the 9, 7, and then potentially the 8 R&B's Tiger. Last race, the 8th race, maiden claiming of $8,000 for maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. My top pick will be In Without Knockin'. Ran at Los Alamitos. Is an LA horse, which is one of the reasons why I've already put this horse onto my pick. Has been running in sprints down at LA, mainly Los Alamitos. 1 race at Del Mar. Del Mar race, of course, naturally, this horse ran 5th by 14 lengths. Has hit the board in the other 2 starts at Los Alamitos. 2nd and 3rd, both those occasions, at long odds. In fact, I remember this race on the 7th of July. Los Alamitos, in the summer meet that they had for thoroughbred racing, it was pretty much all long shots that were hitting the board. Nothing else, just long shots. Long shot, long shot, long shot, long shot. Maybe like not even a quarter of the races had favorites in them that hit or that won. I don't think they even hit the board that much. Like if a long shot was running away with the lead, long shot would just destroy the entire field. So unless the owner just decided to put like $20,000 on the horse to win or something and made the favorite, is something that's strange. My second pick will be Parthena. Ran at Fresno last time on the 28th of September at 6 furlongs and a $16,000 maiden claiming. Came in 3rd by 4 lengths in a time of 1:10. Now is going a little bit slower though, as In Without Knockin' also went 1:11 at Los Alamitos on the last occasion of which this horse ran 3rd by 5 3/4 lengths. So they'll be probably in a photo finish by a nose or so. I'm not sure about this first-time starter, Sound of Glory. And to be honest, I would rather avoid those types of first-time starters. I don't really like to bet first-time starters because there's always a very high chance that this horse will run up the track and run dead last. So, with that being said, that concludes the details of my preview show for you on the Sunday of Golden State Racing on October 20th. Hopefully my picks have given you some influence in what you bet on. If not, then best of luck in winning money. I know that you probably don't trust me, so that's perfectly fine. In the meantime, this is Matt Krikorian wishing you best of luck, whether you're playing at home, at the track, or at another track on the other side of the world or the country. Goodbye.